Assalamualaikum. Dear students, last day we had started to discuss the light chapter, under which we have gone through the certain aspects of light. We have found what is light, what are the characteristics of light. We have also seen the phenomena of reflection. We have discussed about the laws of reflection. Also we have touched the topic mirror, whereby we have seen the mirror is an optical device which is used to form the image. So today in continuation with the previous, we'll go and discuss in more detail about the mirrors and the phenomena based on the mirror. As in the last class we have discussed, mirror is an optical device which is used to form images of the objects. If we go and discuss about the mirror, what we find, okay, there are two types of mirror. One is plane mirror, another is spherical mirror. In case of plane mirror, what we find is simply there exists a surface like this, and this reflecting surface is coated from one side with certain coated material. If once we are having this kinds of appearance, this will be treated as a plane mirror. In case of plane mirror, if we go and discuss about the formation of image, what we find is simply here in this case, suppose this is a plane mirror and we are putting an object in front of this. The distance of this object is x from the mirror. So if we go and study the formation of image from this plane mirror, what we find is simply we obtain an image like this at the same distance x. Fine. And also if the height of this object is h, we find the height of this image is also h. So simply what we find, in case of plane mirror, whatever is the distance of object will get the object image at the same distance, and whatever is the size of the object will get the same size of the image. Fine. So this is you have to keep in your mind. If somehow we want to define the term plane mirror, what we find is in it the end-on position never meet to each other. The appearance of a plane mirror is something like this. But if we go to discuss about the spherical mirror, in case of spherical mirror, what we find is spherical mirror, the appearance of spherical mirror is something like this, which is a part of an hollow sphere. Fine. And if somehow we polish it either from external or the same is polished from internal, will have the formation of spherical mirror. Right? These are the two different types of spherical mirror. This spherical mirror is called concave mirror, and this spherical mirror is called convex mirror. Concave mirror and convex mirror. Now we will go to discuss how these two mirrors are used to form images for an object at the different location one by one. First we will see the formation of image by the concave mirror, which is something like this. This is your concave mirror. Suppose we will draw a principal axis. Principal axis will pass through the center point. This center point of mirror is known as pole. If we discuss about this spherical mirror, we will have a focus point and we will also have a center of curvature. Fine. These three terms will define in more detail later on. But before that, first I am trying to make you clear what is image, how by it is formed, and what are the sizes of the image as per the location of object in front of the mirror, either it is of plane mirror or spherical mirror. So here I am taking the case of concave mirror. Fine. In front of which, simply suppose I am placing an object in between the focus point and the center of curvature. This is your focus point and this is your center of curvature. Fine. So we have to find out the formation of image from this concave mirror. What we do, simply we will draw a line parallel to the principal axis. This parallel line will pass through the focus point after reflection like this. Clear? Now we will take another ray which will pass through the focus point and will fall onto the surface of the mirror mirror, after reflection it will go like this, becoming parallel to the principal axis. What we are saying, if this is your reflected ray, this is also your reflected ray, these two reflected rays are coinciding at this point. So just on producing this point to the principal axis like this, will have the formation of image. So this one will have the formation of image by the concave mirror. Here, what we are saying, if somehow we go to study the formation of image or the characteristics of image formed by this concave mirror, what we find? The size of image is larger than the object, it is inverted, it is directly obtained. Fine. So based upon these we discuss about the characteristics of the formed image which we have to discuss. But before going into the beginning of all these one by one by taking different cases, first let us define what is image. I hope this is very clear to you to understand how by image is formed, either by a plane mirror or by a concave mirror. So just see here the definition of image. Question could be, what is image? What are the types of image? What are the types of image? Simply, for definition we can write, image is defined as an optical impression of an object. Fine. See what I am writing? It is an optical impression. Clear? So here the optical is what? The impression which is obtained due to the what? Optical devices. And mirror is what? Mirror is an optical device. Clear? So that's why we have to keep in our mind as a definition of image. Image is defined as an optical impression of an object. Clear? There are two types of images. First, real image, and second, virtual image. One is your real image and the second one is your virtual image. Clear? Now we'll go and see what is real image, what is virtual image, what are the difference between these two, and in more detail. I hope this is very clear to you what is image. Simply we can show it by a diagram, either by taking the case of a plane mirror. This is your plane mirror which is polished from one side. We are placing an object in front of this mirror at a distance x. Fine. So we'll have an image of same height at the same distance x from the mirror. This is your object. This is your image. Fine. So this one we can have the appearance of image. Now one by one we'll see what is real image and what is virtual image and what are the differences between these two. Real image. Here in case of this we can write the image which is obtained due to direct intersection of reflected rays from an optical device is called a real image. Is called a real image. Fine. Here the main point which we have to keep in our mind is what? The reflected rays are we can have the diagram as well. For this, we can take a concave mirror, will mark this principal axis, this is your pole, fine. This could be your focus point, this could be your center of curvature. Suppose we are placing an object in between the focus and the center of curvature. Now we will take a ray parallel to the principal axis that will pass through the focus point like this. We will take another ray passing through the focus point, and after reflection it will become parallel and will go like this. These two rays, these two, and this is first reflected ray and this is second reflected ray. These two rays are intersecting at this point. So just from producing this point to the principal axis, and now whatever we are obtaining is the optical impression, and this is your image. This is your image. This is your object. This is your object. So here now what we are seeing, the see, the ray, this is your reflected ray and this is also your reflected ray. These two rays are directly intersecting. So that's why this formed image is called real image. I think this is easily understandable by you. There should be no any doubt. If the reflected rays are directly intersecting each other, then the formed image will be known as or treated as the real image. Now simply like this, we'll go and see the virtual image or imaginary image. Virtual image. Here, and now what we can write? The image which is formed on producing the reflected rays in the opposite direction is called virtual image. Here what we find, once we go and see the appearance of virtual image, the reflected rays will not directly intersect in each other. We have to somehow we have somehow to go to make those two reflected rays to produce in the backward direction. Then only those will intersect each other and will form the image. See here as a case. Suppose again we are taking the concave mirror. Fine. Here this is your principal axis. This is your focus point. This is your center of curvature. Now suppose this time I am placing the object here in between the pole and the focus point like this. This is our object which is placed between pole and focus. Just if we try to find out the image of this object, and now what we find, this is your ray parallel to the principal axis, this will pass through the focus point like this. Clear? We are suppose taking another ray which is falling onto the pole, and this reflected ray will go like this. Just scale these two reflected rays. What you are finding? These two reflected rays are getting separated on going ahead. So obviously in the forward direction they will never intersect each other. Clear? So if somehow we be able to produce these two rays in the backward direction like this, we could have a point of intersection hereby. Just on producing this point of intersection with the principal axis like this, and we'll be able to obtain the virtual image. This is your image. Just compare these two cases, the case of real image and the case of virtual image. What you are finding? In case of real image, the reflected rays are directly intersecting each other, and then a real image is formed. Whereas in case of virtual image, what we are saying, the rays are not directly intersecting each other, and after reflection, we are intentionally producing those two reflected rays in the backward direction. Only then we are having the point of intersection, and just on producing that point of intersection with the principal axis, we are having the formation of image, and that image is called virtual image. So this way we can have the formation of virtual image and the real image by proper ray diagram. I hope these two will be clear to you and by having these things in your mind. Now in continuation, if we go to deal the another topic based on the same with the question. With the question could be give some differences between a real image and a virtual image. Fine. So in order to go and deal this question, we can easily compare these two like this. In answer we can write, just draw a middle line on your answer sheet. One side write on the real image, another side write on the virtual image, and point by point write on the differences between these two. First, what we have found? A real image is formed due to the what? Direct intersecting of the reflected rays. We can write a real image is formed. A real image is formed due to direct intersection of reflected rays. Fine. Whereas in case of virtual, what we have got? We can write a virtual image is formed. A virtual image is formed on producing reflected rays in the backward direction. This is the very first difference between a real image and a virtual image. Second point, you can have a real image can be obtained on screen. But about the virtual image, what we can write? A virtual image cannot be obtained on screen. Similarly, third one you can write a real image is always inverted. Whereas in case of virtual image, we can find a virtual image is always erect. And one more another point we can write in continuation. Point number 4, we can write 4 number point. A real image is shown by a solid line. Right? Whereas a virtual image is shown by using dotted line. Fine. So this one we can have the differences between our real image and virtual. For your convenience, again I am repeating, a real image is formed due to the direct intersection of reflected rays, whereas a virtual image is formed on producing the reflected rays in the backward direction. A real image can be obtained on a screen, a virtual image cannot be obtained on a screen. A real image is always inverted, a virtual image is always erect. And the fourth point, if we go and see carefully the diagram, thereby we can find a real image is shown by a solid line, whereas a virtual image is shown by using dotted line. So these are the some differences between a virtual image and the real image. I hope these points are very clear to you to understand, and I hope all these will be remembered by you easily. Next, in continuation, as I told earlier to you, we are having few terms which we are needed to define one by one. So here, first, before going into the detailing of the different cases of the formation of image, let us define those terms one by one. Question would be like this: define focus point, pole, center of curvature, radius of curvature, these are the points related to the optical device mirror. As we have seen in the early stage of this discussion, this is suppose your mirror, spherical mirror. This is your principal axis, and as we have told you, this is your pole, this is your focus point, this is your center of curvature. Now we have to define this term in words. So we can write one by one like this. First one is your suppose focus point. Focus point. For defining this term focus point, just see the diagram. Suppose these are the rays. These are the rays which are parallel to the this is your principal axis. This is your principal axis. Fine. These are the rays which are parallel to the principal axis. Suppose all these are reflected and returns back like this. What you are telling, what you are finding, all these reflected rays are passing through a common point. This common point is called focus point. Right? This common point is called focus point. So now we can define the focus point like this. It is defined as a point on principal axis at which all the reflected rays, which are parallel to the principal axis, it is defined as a point on principal axis at which all the rays which are parallel to the principal axis passes by. In other words, we can say, focus point is a point from where all the rays parallel to principal axis we can say focus point is a point from where all the rays parallel to the principal axis passes. Clear? Hereby it is shown by F. Here it is shown by F. Now the next term, pole. The term pole, it is simply defined as the midpoint point of a mirror is called pole. Fine. The next term is your center of curvature. Center of curvature. So for defining this simply ना what we have to keep in our mind कि simply है ना this mirror is what a part of hollow spherical mirror है ना hollow sphere, and if some of this hollow sphere is cut from these two portions, then this will be the arc, and if this arc is polished either by external position or internal position, will have the formation of mirror. And simply this way we can have this spherical mirror, the formation of a spherical mirror. Here what we have to keep in your mind, if somehow we are taking a hollow sphere, there will be a center point. There will be a center point. This center point will be treated as the center of curvature for this formed spherical mirror. Clear? Fine. So here simply we can have, this is a hollow sphere. This is your, suppose this is your center of the hollow sphere. If we cut this portion and we polished, what we find, it will be treated as a spherical mirror. This center of this hollow sphere will be treated as the center of curvature for this mirror. So simply we can write the center of curvature as the center of a hollow sphere whose mirror is a part is called center of curvature. Is called center of curvature. Clear? Simply just what we care, if somehow we are going to design a hollow spherical mirror, that spherical mirror will be a part of what? Hollow sphere of lead, and that mirror will be a segment of that hollow sphere. The center of that hollow sphere whose mirror is a part will be treated as the center of curvature for the mirror, and which is defined hereby. Clear? So this way we can define the term focus point, we can define the term pole, and we can define the term center of curvature. Similarly, another next term which we have to define is radius of curvature. So for defining the term radius of curvature, we can write like this. Again, just see the sphere. This is your, suppose I am drawing a fresh one for your convenience. This is your hollow sphere of lead. There will be the center, that is, as we know, the line drawn from the center to the surface will be the radius. Suppose I am taking this part. Fine. This part, which is what? Arc of this hollow sphere, if taken and polished from one side, either external or internal. And suppose we are taking this center of the hollow sphere paper and drawing the line. This will also be about radius, as here is the radius. So this radius for this mirror will be written as, or will be treated as radius of curvature. Why? Because this is a curve of this hollow sphere. So simply we can define the term radius of curvature like this. Radius of curvature. We can define this term like this. The radius of a hollow sphere of lead whose mirror is a part, is called radius of curvature of the mirror. Is called radius of curvature of a spherical mirror. of the terms in form of focus point, pole, center of curvature and radius of curvature. All these terms are very important from the perspective of later on discussion. Fine. So you must be very clear with the definition of all these terms one by one. And about the focus point, what we have got? The point on the principal axis at which the parallel rays coincide after reflection. Simply treat it as the focus point. Pole, the midpoint of the mirror is called the pole. And the center of curvature, and the center of a hollow sphere whose mirror is apart is treated as the center of curvature. And radius of curvature is what? The radius of a hollow sphere whose mirror is apart is known as radius of curvature and of the spherical mirror. So these are the few terms we have to keep in our mind. Based on these terms, the next topic which we have to discuss will be in form of establishing a relation between the focus point and the radius of curvature. The focal length and the radius of curvature. Fine. The next question could be find the relation between focal length and radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. Fine. Or question could also be like this. Establish the relation f equals to r by 2 where symbols have specific meaning. This is very important question from the perspective of your exam. In CBSE board exam, frequently this question asked, establish the relation between focus point and the radius of curvature, or establish the relation r by 2 where symbols have their specific meaning. So before going into the detailing of these, we have to keep in our mind what is focal length and what is radius of curvature. These two terms we have to be clear.